woke up this morning, the sky was gray. Another storm, another endless day.
So, hello again. This is Sudowrite with me, Manon. I'm a published author. I already did the little spiel. Today's a deep dive memoir session number 2, and we will be using our king. And I'm not talking the king in this world, but the one of rock and roll. So we're going to use Elvis Presley as our memoir base. And I use Elvis because everyone basically knows Elvis Presley. And I will show you all my workflow. And hopefully I will get all the way to the outline and I'll show you a few ways of making an outline, all depending on how you want that memoir to be written for the person you're writing the memoir. So again, if you have any question, big letters inside the chat, raise your hand. And we are a big family. We're working on memoirs, so stop me, raise your hands, say, let me know that you have a question. And I'm going to start sharing my author. There we go. Let's share this one. All right, everyone see my Sudowrite.
Yes.
Thank you. Yay. And I'm going to share the main notes. And all you have to do from the main notes is to go click on these to find where what we did yesterday. So you have the note from yesterday, and then you have also at the bottom here the YouTube channel. This is my YouTube channel, and the class number 1 is this one right here. And today it's day 2, so we're going to go to the slide the slide deck, and I will update as we go. And you have to refresh every once in a while to get all the stuff we're going to add it to it. Tons of adding on, so hold on. All right. So one thing that I forgot to talk yesterday, we were talking just before the class of what are we as writer. I just want to make a side on this one. The plotter, the penciler, and the in-between. And I had a bit of fun with ChatGPT, and it says there is more than 1 or 3 of them. There is more archetype. There's the puzzle solver, the intuit channeler, the world builder, the character whisperer, the research maven, the scene stitcher. So you can see them all over here. It's kind of interesting to see. But in our case, we are actually writing memoirs. So where do we belong? So you can go and read here that the plotter is, they map everything out in advance. Well, when you do a memoir, we do have to map a lot of information in advance. So we're part of that. And then the penciler write by the seat of their pens, discovering the story as they go. I think we do that too in the memoir, because once we have the information, we find some little treasure hiding under a rock, and then we write about it. So we expand it. So we're a bit penciler. So I think we are pretty much in the between. And I believe I did ask a bit more question after that, but maybe I did not put it up here. But I thought it was fun for you to have it. So it's in our note. So navigating the truth of memoir. So that was an excellent question. So plotters in memoir. So this is what we are. Plotters approach their memoir like carefully curated museum exhibit. Create details timeline of the life event. Use story structure framework like the hero journey or the tree structure, three-act structure. I will actually show you that I'm not using those, but you can. If that's one thing you like to do, you can use it, no problem. Outline chapter in advance, often around the themes, the resilience, forgiveness, or love. For the Elvis Presley, we have 3 different ways of going. We can go about his career, his life, and there was another one which I will show you also. So we have the outline here that I already work on. Next, the might storyboard emotional arc alongside the chronological one. So you can work on a board, and board, you can do it on a wall, on a paper, but you can also put it in Canva. So if you have Canva here, you can add little box like this and put down, today I'm working on Elvis. And then you can add boxes as you go. You can add little text and all that. So we're going to delete this one if you let me. Sometimes it's just a bit. I don't want to spend too much time on this one. So I could start right here, move the box and put down here the memoir. It doesn't want to let me. All right. I'm not going to play too long on this. Doesn't want to delete. Okay, so I could put Elvis here. I could put a description of Elvis, and I could ask for visualize Elvis Presley, and it will give me a visualize of his face or body or something like that. But you know what I'm saying here? You could put Elvis, his mother is the one who took care of all this disc, his wife, his daughter, and put the information you need, and you can put little thread around like on a board. So this is one place you can do that in Sudowrite. It's inside Canvas. And then we click the little arrow and we come back inside our class. So that's done. Any questions so far? Great job, Pencil. Perfect. All right. So we did that memoir example. There's a lot of example here to go through. Just don't want to spend the whole time on those. You can go and read them. I give you example of what a memoir about a woman that write about surviving a cult. That I have one that I'm writing about. It's two women surviving a cult. That's going to be a very interesting book to read also. Now, a pencer in memoir. Pencer dive in without a plan, letting the writing process unearth what matter most. So they start with memory, scenes, emotion that feels alive. Discover themes after writing multiple vignettes or story fragments. Allow the memory to guide the flow, even if non-linear. Often have deeply emotional and raw first draft. So it's sometimes, I think it's very personal. The person that you're writing about is right there with you. That's where we'll go for. So it will give you all those little story. So every day you go see them, they give you a story, and the next day you go see them, they still give you a different story, and then you put all that together. I will go with that would be like in a Pencer way of going. Repeatedly circle back to refine structure once the core truth reveal itself. So when you have all those little memoirs together, that's where you have to go and put everything together, and that's where you become then a plotter. In my opinion, that's how it works. Next, after that, another one here give you a different example on how it works, and so on. Any question on that? We're doing good so far. All right. Reflection here. I don't think I have anything. Oh yeah, this is the first part of the outline that you can use. There is an outline in Memoir, which is called Mirror and Sun Memoir Outline Style. I put it there to show you how it works. But before I do that, I will have to go get the information on Elvis Presley. So remind me if I forget to show you the Miroir and Sun memoir outline and how we use that inside Sudowrite. All right, let's get in the big of the action right now. So what I do when I do research, let's see if you see that. So you see my document, you get to have that document here. So copy the link. It will be also in our main document. This is all the information I dig up on Elvis Presley. So I dig all about when he was born, where he was born, all his music, where his books, a lot of suggestion. It's fully packed. Now this morning, I wanted more information. And for that, I did go into, and I have this problem again where we can barely see the top. I went into memoir number 2, and here it is. So, it says, all right, so today we have our masterclass on Elvis memoir. So I need more information. So I get in here and I said, this is what I want. It says all the information that we're going to go through together. So I'm not going to spend too much time, but again, here is showing you a way of doing a outline for Elvis Presley. So class memoir writing outline, starting by the prologue, we set the stage for the book. Then we have chapter 1, Tupelo Dream, 1935 to 1948, chapter to explore. So these are outline that I prepare in advance with some of the theme that I says maybe that would be great to have the memoir on Elvis Presley with these here. Next is how you get the memoir info for the memoir. And this is what I'm going to show you right now. So what I did is I went into ChatGPT, and I don't use the free ChatGPT. I use the one which is you pay for. And I do go deep. So here's a ChatGPT. So I said, okay, let's go deep on Elvis Presley. That cannot be found any other place. So in any other search, I need to go very, very deep. So he says, okay, that's fantastic question. On that gets right to the earth of what makes working with me special. So he's basically flattering himself right there. So he says, what do you want deeper? So he says, do you want contextual insight based on your project, emotional, psychological profiling, construct dialogue and inner monologue with Elvis, alternative timeline, or basically leave the AI going to imagine what Elvis was thinking, or personalized reading lists and archive leads. 6, the symbolism and thematic analysis of Elvis, or creating an integration into the workshop. It's okay. I want number 5. So I like to go deep in number 5, personalized reading lists and archive leads. So, and he says I can suggest rare academic resources like musical journal, psychological of fame studies, interview, and obscure publication. Book and documentation that align with your team, which is basically Elvis. And about his bio, also general bio, leads your library, sorry, collection or fan archive aren't widely indexed. So how can I ask this as a deep research? So this is my whole question there. I asked that, and I want this as a deep research. So it's okay, beautiful, beautiful. We're going to go deep in that research. So he starts his work, and he's doing all these things. And it says, okay, this is too surface for me. There's a lot of information, but that's too surface. What I want is, are there any letter or personal writing from Elvis or those close to him that reveal his inner world? And he says, okay, to find the most relevant letter on personal writing from Elvis or those close to him, could you share more about the kind of insight you want? So, okay. I said, well, I did have a mistake here. So can we get all the letter or personal writing from Elvis to those close to him? Could you share more about what kind of insight you're hoping to discover? For example, are you looking for emotional says during all his life? So basically my question at the bottom, it says, I want all the above, but during all his life and all the way to his daughter. It says, okay, wonderful. And then he went to town, took over 12 minutes, 26 sources to go get all the information I was looking for. I didn't have time to read all of it. But it's pretty interesting. So early family bond and lasting loneliness, a twin loss in a private world. So he had a twin he had a twin, and he passed away in the womb of his mother, if I'm not wrong, or was stillborn. The first letter from Rising Star. The Army Days, Love, Homesickness, and Grief from 1958 to 1960. And we have information about the grief to his mother, death in 58, the loneliness and the despair, letter from miserable soldier, heartfelt love, letter to Anita. And these things, obviously, you have to go and double check everything. But we're going to assume that everything is on the nose, and I use deep research with ChatGPT a lot, and the deep research is in the bottom here, if you can see it in that little box in the bottom. This is how you can get deep research, and you normally limit it to 12 a month because you really go deep. And I got all these. So we have pages, and then we have source table on where I got those letters, and you have that inside the document that I share with you already. So I copy all that. And that document here, I had the surface information plus some outline that I wanted to work on and all the research I've done. So I put down here, let's see here. ChatGPT research is right here. Just, it doesn't, then we have to play a bit with these. Just one normal here. Okay. Just doesn't want to give me the. So it's easier for you to find all these things to start with. There we go. So you have the ChatGPT, the last one I did, the big one. And then a bit lower, you're going to see after a few pages, this is about the end of that one, we have the Gemini research that I did. Now, Gemini, sorry, I did ask a bit differently. I asked for document which was not well known inside the United States and Canada. I says anything from Germany, UK, less known Elvis Presley material. And Gemini went also and get some work done. So we have a lot of information about other country have information on Elvis Presley. So I copy all that. I also put that all in here. He says, why did she put that everything in there? Well, we have to bring it inside Sudowrite. So this is basically saved. So what you do once you have it in Google Drive like this, inside the document, you go under the file. Once you're happy with your research, you go File, Download, Microsoft Word Docs. Then it's going to save it right here. Then now I go back after that into my Sudowrite. Any question this far that I didn't lose anybody on the way? We are still following me? Okay. All right. So now we have all the memoir that's everything here is the same thing that I just showed you. I copy everything from all the question to the answer of everything. We have to go out of this. I have to ask them why I have to do a refresh all the time. So now I'm going to go out. And like this one here, that's my original where I brought in 5,534 words of my research. We have a whole lot more now. So we're going to go and click import. And I'm going to go and drag that Elvis Presley inside here. And now it's going to go and read the documentation. And during that time, we can go forward on a few things here. So the original one I have here, I have a lot less word, a lot less information. Just to show you, during the other one is going to show up what that little one got me. So we can see everything in here from what I imported. So the important part now is to go inside the Story Bible. The Story Bible is where you're going to go when you do your memoir, putting everything you know about the memoir that you have to write about. And the fact that we have everything already in, now the AI has a place to go and find the information it needs to write the memoir properly. So the brain dump is empty. What I do with the brain dump is when I have little AI prompt that I'm using sometimes to write inside the prose or having the AI to do something I really need, I put them in my brain dump to remember they are there. Or sometimes just bring in like an outline that I have an idea that I want to put because it's empty and there's basically nothing in it. Basically, our big dump is right here. The brain dump is right here, but there's not enough space here. It's only 2,000 words. The genre. Yesterday, remember I said the genre, I'm not going to keep everything. Things in here that we will probably not need to have. I don't think we're going to have the addiction and substance abuse inside this because we want to have a memoir. It's not a self-help or something like that. So go in and go clean up the genre because when they bring everything from our little document, is going to give you a lot of genre because there's a lot of information. So for us, we really do work on memoir. I would say I would have probably leave the biography in it because it's part of the biography. In when I have more time, I would probably remove the biography and say, no, I'm working just on a memoir. So let's do it like that. Let's do it the way I would do it anyway. So I'm going to use a memoir. I'm going to move it over here and remove the biography. It's a nonfiction. Is the music history of Elvis cultural story? No, I will take that off. American history. Is it the American history? No, that's Elvis Presley. I could leave it there, but I prefer to take it off. When we are more precise on the genre we're working on, it's going to give you more precise story, which is going to do more what you're looking for. We're not talking really about the industry music, even though we're talking about Elvis, but we want to know more about Elvis and his life and not what the industry around him is doing. It's going to get inside of it, but I don't want the AI to really put his teeth inside and stay there. Celebrity culture. I think I would leave that one there. Rags to riches. That's a good question. Do I want this one there? When I'm not sure, again, like I said earlier, I take things that I'm not sure or that I can come back and pick them up later in my brain dump. I'm not sure about this one. It might be a very good genre to use. I will go and make more research on what will come out of this one. Then stardom and fame. I think that one, I'm not looking for that. Spiritual exploration, no. Philanthropy, legacy, and impact. All right, now I need your help, guys. Which one do we keep? Do we keep philanthropy, legacy, and impact, or do we just put them on the side? What do you think? So we keep philanthropy, and we remove the legacy and the impact. Perfect.
Manon, there's two questions.
Yeah, I'm looking at those in the same time. Thank you. What do we have here? Question: how do you handle the brain dump section importing a manuscript that is all written? Is half written? The same way that you do it with one which is totally written. In the other words, if the first half of the story is 40,000 words, is already written, and if I only start adding to the brain dump about the second half. Okay, the same way that I just did. See that one? That version that we are working on right now is my first half. And I went and did more research, and I'm satisfied with my research, which doubled the amount of words, I guarantee you. And this is the one which is getting imported right now to show you the difference on how it works. So this is exactly that question you have there. So your 40,000 words, you can bring them the same way I did bring the information on Elvis, all my research. And if you have more information after that, that you have to add it, do the same thing. So go inside a Word document, put your 40,000 words, put everything that you want, the second part of it, and you can add that and then import it into Sudowrite. Or you can import it in two different sections like I'm doing right now because of the timing and situation of adding more information. It's really up to you, it's your workflow. The 40,000 word, it's quite a lot of word. It's basically a good, it's a novel. It's a pretty good book at 50,000 words. Normally, it's a good book to publish. So you don't have a lot of word missing. So how long do you want your book to be on that 40,000 words? And that's for Lee, I.S. Lee.
Yeah, of course, it's a manuscript, but it's okay then that half of the material, or more, much more than half of the material. I think the question is more about like this overbalance. If I put 40,000 words into the brain dump, and then the second half of the story is just notes and small pieces of story that aren't complete. Does that cause like an imbalance when Sudowrite is evaluating that and creating the chapters?
No, it doesn't. As long as you have your 40,000 words, put a little title at the top saying this is my manuscript. and go down, and where you have your little piece, try to put them in chronological order or put a title on top to say what it is. And the AI, when you import it into Sudowrite, is going to know, it should be able to read everything you put down and says, okay, this is a character, this is a timeline, this is this, this is that. And it's going, because it's going to bring everything pretty much the same way it is as it is right now. So if you go in that brain dump here, I call it a brain dump because this is basically what it is. It's all the information I brought in. There's no big change on the way it's been brought in, but it's just been brought as a brain dump so the AI can go get all the information to be able to write about Elvis Presley. There's not a lot of space for imagination. So it's going to get all the information from this big document. Does that help?
Yeah, so is it better then to put everything, like instead of importing and asking it to create the chapters from half of the manuscript, is it better just to put everything into brain dump and then start building it from there?
Okay. We're going to make sure that you understand the difference here. This is brain dump, and it's only 2,000 words. You have 40,000 words. It's impossible to put in brain dump. So for you, you go in a document, put all the information there, import it inside Sudowrite like I did. And this become your brain dump right here.
Okay.
Okay. And this way, that's where it's go inside, the AI go inside your story Bible and start populating your story Bible. Sounds good?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Second question. Does the order of the genre make a difference? Does the first entry take priority? Some people say yes, depending on what you write inside your genre and your style, the last thing that you write is the priority. Personally, I didn't see a whole lot of difference, but I know that I don't want to overload my boxes. Definitely not in a genre. I like to leave it as bare as possible to really, it's memoir, it's a nonfiction. That's very important to me. It's a nonfiction. It's about the music history. I could probably remove it. The celebrity is because we could probably put down here Elvis music to be even more precise history. And Elvis celebrity culture also here we could put up to just say this is really about Elvis. I don't want to know about Janet Jackson or anything like that. It's really about Elvis. So you can play with that. The memoir here, so the memoir of Elvis. And that's how you can go and get even more precise into your genre. The AI can say, we're talking about Elvis. There's no way that I'm going to put Janet Jackson inside that. So just a bit more precision into the genre and make it really to what you want. And we have chosen the philanthropy because he was very generous. So we're going to keep it inside because we want that inside the information. And his legacy and impact, I think it's very important because it's the king of the rock and roll. Drawing all from Google Drive. How to get, did you understand what I was saying after that, Amir? Or do I have to repeat how to get everything from the document here? Basically, I just put all my information. If I had a story, if I had a manuscript, I put everything in here. All the information I'm looking for about date of birth, date of death, who was born, what music that he wrote on that day. Everything should be inside here. So if we have letters, we have place where we can go and find all the information. So this is how I put everything in the Google. And then after that, I did ask to save it. So basically I went on the file, download, Microsoft Word. It went into my download. Then I went into Sudowrite. Just making sure. Hopefully it did work what it's supposed to do. I will open it. And basically I did go on the import, put the document in the import and leave it go. Now we were working on the one with 5,000 words. Now this one says it has 0 word. Let's see if the importation worked. All right, the importation work. I don't need to do that right now. So he has all the information I brought in. And he should have a lot more words. So let's see if we go back what he's going to say. So this is the last importation we did. All right. Why is not giving me the amount of words? He's going to do it eventually. So now we have the two, the one with the very little amount of word that we brought in and the new one that I did with you. And it's supposed to be a lot bigger in the amount of words. So I'm going to refresh again. I keep losing my laser tool. All right, so we have 7,725 words inside this document. So from 5,000, we have 2,000 some words more by doing the two research I asked earlier. Now let's see what that do with our. So here it's telling me the same thing. Biographical fiction. No, there's no fiction. So that's not true. There's no fiction in this. So right there, I'm removing this one. So it's a memoir, yes. Historical nonfiction, absolutely. Psychological character study. So you see, with adding more like those letters and the information from other country, we have a lot of difference. Like there is a historical nonfiction instead of just nonfiction, a psychological character study. So Elvis basically become under a study now. They still talk about his spirituality, existential theme. That's interesting. And then family drama. Was it a bit of family drama? There was maybe. Celebrity culture, same thing. Nostalgia and retrospective. So that one here, it's interesting for one thing, is if you decide to write the memoir of Elvis and as behind Elvis or Elvis was thinking in that moment, this is interesting to use that. And this is also in my note that I shared with you earlier. So this is the difference between the two big importation with getting those letters from his fan and family and insert his family also to all the way to his daughter. So you can see the difference inside the genre between the two. That's kind of very fun to see how he does that. Then here is giving us the synopsis of Elvis Presley. I'm going to copy that. I will put it here so you can also read the synopsis of the second research. So I'm going to create a blank document. And you also can see here that he is giving us a outline. So I'm going to put that here so you can all read it. And I'm going to give you the other one. So this one is from Elvis import number 2 with over 7,000 words. So you have an idea what we're talking about. I will download this. Put it in the chat so you can read it at your leisure. I will also put it in the document later here. So we have this one on that is telling us about, it starts with the twin shadow. That's the good start on Elvis, was marked with a very beginning by a profound sense of loss and longing. Born in 1935 in Tupelo, Mississippi, Elvis entered the world alongside of his twin brother, Jess, who was tragically stillborn. This early tragedy would cast a long shadow over Elvis' identity as he grappled with survivor's guilt and a lifelong feeling of incompleteness. And we all know that's happening with twins a lot. So that will be an interesting part to read. No, we don't have enough time to read all that. So you're going to have a chance to read it on your own time. So let's go back in memoir number 1. Class notes, I don't forget to give it to you guys. And find me in Discord if you see that I forget some information that we did. So export number 2. And then I will show you also export number 1 that we did. Okay, let's go back to export number 1. Any question I missed so far? Everything is good? All right. Oh, wrong one. So export number 2. That's the one I just did, right? I want to go to export number 1. That's the one with the 5,000 words. Let's go see our story Bible, the synopsis. What does it start with? Elvis Presley, the King Journey Through Life and Legend. So you can see the difference between the two import when we put more just straightforward search and when we put more like personal letter included and family sidetrack information to it. Look at the synopsis difference. The other one start with his twin brother, which was stillborn. This one start with his life and legend journey, born in 1935 on Bolton of Tupelo. Elvis Presley entered the world with musical destiny instead of a dead brother. Though his family faced extreme poverty, young Elvis grew up surrounded by soulful sound that would shape his singular lifestyle. The fervent gospel, the local church. So there's nothing about his brother. Interesting how the two are changing by adding just more information to our search. Copy this. I'm going to give you that also. That's not what I want to copy. I want to put it inside this. Download. Copy this. I will put it in right blank folder. Pass along. This is the synopsis number 2. Synopsis. That's the first research, right? That's number 1. Let's copy this one. Share again. Bring that inside the. You have a copy of that. You can read at your own time. Put it inside my memoir. Export number 1. All right. Okay. Now, let's go back in the big one with the twin brother. So that one is more personal to Elvis' life. So I'm very happy with this one. Brandom, as you know, there's nothing. We did kind of clean up the genre. I would probably go back in, but because we cleaned up the other one, I'm not going to clean up this one. But I want to keep forward because we're already at 2:41. Time flies, it's crazy. So we have our synopsis here. Now let's see our character. Elvis is definitely our protagonist, the king of rock and roll, the king rising musical, is tall, about 6 foot, blue eyes, we know that, black dyed hair, naturally brown. Huh, didn't know that. Known for his distinguished feature and magnetic stage presence, is male Capricorn. In public, how he does in public, charismatic, magnetic. He has all the information. In public is polite, southern charm mixed with star power. Between friends, and these you can also clean them up. If there's things like that that you want to be easier for you to read, you can move them around. So we have that in public, in friend, and in private, how he's working. He's a human, deep seeker. That's one thing I forgot to show you. And I did throw it last night or yesterday when we were doing the class. Do your character before you import your information in. Don't forget to go and customize inside a different program or a different folder that you're working on, and just go and change your information on the character you want to bring in. So I'm not too bad because I'm doing a lot of these, so all the information here are pretty good for a person and having information on his life to do his memoir. But just go and make sure that you have what you want inside your character cards. If you want more information, I'm sure you can go into the classroom in Discord and just put down character in your search. And a lot of classes that other teachers are working deeper inside the character box. So we have Gladys Presley. That's his mom. She's going to be a supporting character during his life. So we call her Mama, female. She's Capricorn too. So that I will go back and check in my paperwork to make sure that we have the right zodiac sign. one thing that I forgot to put in my character box is the date of birth. So when we forget something like that, we can go in the bottom here and put down that we want the date of birth. We can do it that way. Or we can go in the character box higher up, customize. We can go here and we can add it at the bottom. Select. Then we say add it to current character. It's going to add it. And you can see the update. So it's updating everyone. And you can say save as new. So in the future, it's there. So now you're going into your character box. And the last thing in the bottom you can see. And if he's doing the right thing, he's going to give me his right date of birth. So Vernon is a supporting character. So what does he do here? Gladys was born on the 25th of April, 1912, and the zodiac is Capricorn. What's about Elvis? April is not Capricorn. Yeah, you got that right. That's one thing the AI is not able to do properly is the zodiac sign. Was it born on the 8th of January? I know 1935 sounds right. So that's why I said in this here, we have all the information. Doesn't mean that when we bring the stuff in is the right information on Elvis. Who has the date of Elvis Presley? Quick. Anyone has his date of birth?
January 8th, 1935.
So that's the right information right here. All right. So
What the internet?
perfect. So for the zodiac sign, do I have the zodiac sign high up? One thing that I find out that is not very good for the zodiac sign. So what I do, I go to do the rewrite and I put the real date.
He was a Capricorn.
Okay, perfect. So now we have to do is mommy, which we have the date down here. Hopefully we have the right date. Going to go in the zodiac sign. Going to do a rewrite. You can see it's thinking. We have that little colorful thing around. Gladys Presley was born on 25. Her zodiac sign is Taurus. Avril, May. Yeah, that's right. So that's the only way I find out for the AI to find a proper zodiac sign inside Sudowrite. Something I'm going to work on. Somehow I'm going to figure out how to get it to write the zodiac sign in the first place properly, so we don't have to do that. But this is how we do add things to characters. So I hope that helped you a little bit on that. So what's this one here? The major supporting character, and it is Vernon Presley, supporting character. Emotional anchor, father figure. There's no zodiac sign because we haven't put his birthday. So basically we would go and update all the birthday and keep on going to get everything done. So to not lose too much time today, I will not do it. But after the class, I'm going to go in and double check all those information and put what they are all about. So just to not get everything stopped on this. But this is how we go. We go and check every single one of our character, double check all the information to be able to write and keep on going. Now the world building. That's where he was born. We know that. Memphis, Tennessee, that's where he did the Home of the Blues. You go in and double check everything. He did go to the US Army, late 50s, established in 1975, the late 50s. So go in and read all that stuff. And I said, I'm going to get all that information. I'm going to make little box here. I will copy as much as I can, probably not everything that are inside this, but as much as I can, I will put it inside the document on the side and copy it to the main document that I give you guys. So like I said, during the day, during the evening or tomorrow morning, go and refresh it. You'll see all the updates showing up as I go and work on it. So it has a lot of information about where he has been, where he was born, where he grew up and all that, the army, something about the mafia. Interesting one here. Mafia serve multiple interconnection purpose, providing constant companionship and emotional support to Elvis. I'm finding some new stuff. I mean, I was a kid when the king was around and never had a chance to see him on the stage. But now I'm reading things that's kind of very interesting. One give me the taste to write about this guy too. The loss of his twin brother is one of the lore about the story, which we know about. The synopsis is starting with that. His mother death is Elvis military uniform. What do you mean by that? Standard use shoe, olive drab class. A service uniform consists of a wool jacket. Okay, so I guess he's going to have a bit in the story about his uniform. There's probably something going on with that. And then is fan club, the culture of the whole situation with Elvis and the fan club. And here in the world building, if there is something about the memoir you're writing about that is missing, you go in and enter it. You just go and generate or add some information. So you can go generate element, you can add setting or any of the information down here, like the grown man at the time of Elvis. Just like that. And you just generate. You can also enter your own information inside the, if you go more on the top, you can go customize your own world building cards. So I will not spend too much time on that, but other teacher have class on word building and how to create new cards. And you can do a lot in the world building. There we go. So demonstration was a federal system, a three-tiered democracy republic with federal, state, and local levels. The federal government maintains supreme authority, blah, blah, blah. Complex web of federal and state statute, relationship marked by growing tension between traditional local autonomy and expanding federal authority. So, and this is in the era where Elvis, and he should have gone to all the way to 74, but I guess he stopped at 60. So you can also ask for all the way to from the whole life of Elvis Presley. Now, as we import everything inside Sudowrite, he already did. So it's okay, you give me a lot of information. I'm going to give you an outline. You might fall in love with the outline right here that you have. So the letter, so we have the twin shadow, letter from rising star, number of one girl, number one girl, that was probably Gladys, okay. Miserable days in Germany, searching for meaning, little Elvis Presley, God give me to you. So we could read all that, but don't have time. We have already at 2:52. So I'm going to copy this outline. This is a very, very important step, guys. That little copy button here, when we work on something like this, that we want to keep all our information, because we can go in and transform this anytime. I can go add it, we can do the update, all that information we can do, but try to keep your original. So copy this, do a new little blank document, and pass your outline in here. It's supposed to give me a little title, Elvis Shadow, and to just make sure that you know what you have, just put down the outline. Probably even put a number so you know this is the first one that you add when you start your story on Elvis. So now you have this, it's saved somewhere inside your document. The outline. Remember earlier I told you about that mirror kind of outline you can use. I'm going to show you that right now. So we're going to go inside my little, is it Memoir 1 that I got this information? the Memoir Sun outline. So I'm going to copy and paste this. And as you can see, it said, designed for memoir of healing, truth telling, transformation. We're going to see the difference between the two outlines that we have right now. So we're going to go in the big one. That's the one we're working on. We're going to go back in our story Bible and we're going to go into the outline. Now that outline I have, I'm going to simply delete it. And I'm going to go and ask for that outline. Now I have it right safe right there for me. So I'm going to click here on the arrow down. See that custom outline? Click on that. And right here, you put down, this is what you want, the Mirror and Sun Memoir outline style. And it says, use that outline. And then just generate. That's one way to do it. I'm going to leave it do that, and I'm going to show you two other outline and how to bring them in. And then after that, you can look at all the outline you have. You can kick bash your outline. You can put them on paper or anything you want and see which one that you want to work with, and then bring back a brand new outline on the way you want to write the memoir. So for me, that's how I work. I kick bash a few different outline, and I take piece from all the outline that I have, and I bring one major outline for the book that I want to write about the person. So let's see what it's going to give us with that mirror one. Any question? Loss of brother and military uniform are world building. Yes, the loss of brother was in the synopsis. And the uniform was definitely in a world building. So there's something in the research that brought in that was important to put in the outline according to the AI. Moon in Pisces. All right, so what that outline looks like. 2 heartbeat in 2 pillows. So this is when he was born, I would guess. The 2 open the Depression era, Tupelo, Mississippi, with Gladys Presley, difficult pregnancy, the birth of Elvis, and the stillbirth of his twin, Jess, are recounted through Vernon Presley memoirs. The chapter explored the immediate impact of this loss on the family, setting the stage for Elvis' long life sense of incompleteness, the sight, sound, and struggle of their modest life in Tupelo are vividly described, emphasizing the close-knit private world that formed around Elvis Presley. That's an interesting, very interesting outline to me right there. This is very catching to start with something like that for a memoir for Elvis Presley. Echo of the absence of his brother, so he keeps going on his brother. The Memphis Melody, move to Memphis, mark a turning point. Next, the sun record and the birth of the star. This is a very interesting outline. And we have 12th chapter on this one. That's very interesting outline. This is the mirror one. So I'm going to copy this memoir and I'm going to add it. This little title. And there we can put down that we have number 2, load. You guys can have that. It's in the chat. You want me to go back into the world building to show those things just to make sure? So we have, is it in this one? Yeah. The uniform is here. Here we have, that's the location of where he was born, Memphis, Tennessee. And yeah, the lore of the lost twin brother is also inside the world building on the lore. And I'm going back inside our memoir number 1. class note. You have that. Oh, I'm going to probably put the whole thing instead of that. That would be easier. I will put the, again, I have to do a refresh. We are at 58. Do you want to see what the first little chapter will look like with that outline that we got, the mirror one? Yes, perfect. And then tomorrow we'll work on the other outline, and I'm also going to go and fix all the information we have about Elvis Presley. So memoir number 1. Let's go back to our Elvis here and see what that first chapter will look like with this outline we have here. So the open depression era, this is the right one, is it? Stillborn twins, echo of the absentee. I got the right one? Yeah. Let's see. Create chapter 1. All right. Now we are in scene. We had, are you all having scene inside your Sudowrite, guys? Or do you still have some of them which have the beats? I think we're all on scenes now.
I am.
All right. Okay. Scenes. All right, that's something we're going to work together because this is going to be new for me too. So once we have our chapter 1, we hope that they fix that. We have make sure that we have our genre. We would like to have our style also here. Should I put the style now? We're going to go without the style, and then we're going to find our style as we go. So this is the way I will work right now. So let's generate those scenes with our first chapter of our mirror outline. Just during that is going on, I will double check a few things for you, and we'll change. This is going to keep on working. It's just for the people who are leaving early because they have to go to work or things like that. Just want to make sure that I give you all the information you need. So if you have any question, find me inside the Discord and all that. So this is all the workshop. Yeah, last night I did work pretty much on not forgetting anything. And I will probably put, I think I have all that too inside my note, which I will also give you. So I just want to get the simple scene, is still going, bonus technique. These are all the information you have. Q&A, okay, there we go. So replace non-Elvis flow question, experience with that manuscript. Conclusion, takeaway by the end of the class. I hope you're going to feel empowered and tackle your manuscript with a fresh perspective and actionable action. And thank you. So PS, please leave a nice rating. You're going to receive that email from Sudowrite to let them know how great we did in this class and that you learn a lot and that you like to see more and what you like to see about. So for the one of you who has to go, I'm going to miss you. Hopefully I will see you tomorrow. We're going to keep working on it just to see what that first chapter look like. The recording will be published probably by the end of tonight. I will have all that published for you guys. And don't forget to update your notes to see what I have done and the video access also. All right. Okay, let's keep on going. So our scenes, what did he give us in scenes? Thank you so much, Rick, Jess. In scene we have, in a cramped dim room of a modest two-pillow home during the Depression, Gladys lay on a creaking wooden bed as contraction intensified. She clenched a threadbare pillow with trembling finger while sweating beads off on her forehead. I'm going to drink something. I'm very, very dry. Sorry about that. And Vernon stand by her side, his eyes fixed on every shudder and wince as the ambient sound and distance wind rattle an open window. Okay, so she's giving birth in the first scene. The second one, the labor reached its peak when the room filled with a raw sound of a newborn cry. Elvis is born amid strained, measured breath, yet and immediate. Haunting absence follow as twin Jess remain silent. Gladys' face twists between relief and sorrow, and Werner, his hand trembling, gently cup her arm as he silently registered the irreparable loss. The chill of the evening seeping through the cracked wall and echoing the long silence that now defined their close-knit private world. All right, so he gave us two scenes for this here. So the depression, so he doesn't talk anything about the depression of Tupilendo. They just go directly inside the fact that he's born. Presley pregnancy doesn't say anything about it was difficult. The birth of Elvis Presley stillborn. Just two scenes. What would you think if that was you writing this? Would you like more scenes? More details? Because I do. I really like to have more detail.
But
You
it
know?
does say it's during the depression, so that's nice. It's probably going to be what, 5,000 words, and they're going to put a lot of information in there.
Yeah. So there's a couple of ways we can do on what we want to see here. We can go here and say we want extra information or extra instruction. And we could ask in the extra instruction that we want the story to start with a small explanation of the area, by example. So just for the fun of that, so of the this one here. Start by introducing the Tupileno, Mississippi area or place. Next, do we want the point of view? Because we have nothing in the style. So which point of view we want to see here, from the point of view of the mom, the dad, or someone telling the story? So which point of view we using? Third point of view? You do it at the present tense or past tense? You can unmute. You can talk.
Tough question. I like them both.
You like them both? We can try both. So let's try to present tense. This is my favorite tense to write. And then what else can we ask? So we start with introducing the Mississippi area. And then we wanted a third person POV present tense. Then it's going to jump into down to the row. And see. Okay. Let's see what it's going to do with that. Tell me about the pregnancy. If that doesn't work, we're going to put it inside the outline. I'm going to show you two ways of doing it. So here we have Muse. This is the new model that Sudowrite is. This is Sudowrite model point. This is really their model that they actually work on it for months and months and months. We can try this one, but Muse is very, very good with fiction, and we're not writing a fiction. I will normally go with excellent on that one because it's not a fiction we're working on. We're working on something which has a lot more information and it's real stuff. So Claude Sonnet 3.7 will be my go-to. If you are practicing, you can use basic to see what it's going to look like too. One other one that I really like to use is DeepSeek on nonfiction. So we have a lot of choices, but Muse normally doesn't give me good on a nonfiction story. So let's go and try to get the good result and start with that. So we have this small instruction that we put in the box there because we want more information. And I'm testing that with you guys because I normally work with beats and we are not, we try to learn more about the scenes. So we're going to learn together on this one. So excellent, let's try that. Now you're supposed to go and check the story Bible along with the instruction that I gave here. If you find some discrepancy, it's going to let us know. It's analyzing the scene.
Manon, what is that little box with the G on it in your extra instructions?
That's my Grammarly.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
It's fixing the error when I'm typing and I'm making mistake. Grammarly is going to underline that, like when I put down pregnancy, I forgot the N at the Nancy.
Yeah.
It's underlined with red.
All
That
right.
was Grammarly fixing my error.
I don't have that on mine. Is that something that you have especially for you?
Yes, it's
Oh, okay.
basically I'm a member of Grammarly
Oh,
and
gotcha. Okay.
that's it. And it's attached with inside the Google. It's something which is a lifesaver because I normally write in French, so
Yeah.
I learn a lot with that. Now, let's see what he's doing. See, he checked everything. And he says, okay, wait a sec. We're going to have between 3,000 and 5,000 words. Consider enriching the pregnancy background and expanding the torpedo description. Quick fix, expand the details. So when I ask you, I want more details. That's what it says. So it says, yeah, that's what I want you to do. Now we're going to click on that, expand details. Now he's going to go and work. He's going to do a rewrite. So we're going to let him work and he's going to rewrite this part. Thinking. There we go.
Is it doing it in Muse there or in Gemini?
Is not doing it in that, is doing it in excellent.
In X. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So, in a cramped, dim room, a modest Toledo home during the Depression, the worn wallpaper and faint clamor from the street merged within the persistent creak of the old wood to evoke the hard time of the area. Inside, Gladys lay on a creaky wooden bed as contraction intensified. She clenched a threaded bare pillow with trembling finger while sweating beads. So basically what we had before. So he add all this part here to our story. And that's it. You see what is doing that? That's my Grammarly, which is in Canadian English. He's doing all the fixing. So he's telling me the street merging with persistence or the street merge. He put it at the present tense. So he's fixing the error of the AI in my own language. It's kind of cool. Now, one thing that I can tell you right there too, this part here, this is talking about the error, what's going on. I could just go here, do that, and make a second scene. So my first scene is this, and then the second scene is that. She's giving birth. We're going to leave it the way it put it, but this is not a trick that you can use. You can go inside your scenes as this is not just one scene, this is two scenes. I want to put it in two scenes, you go and make a number two. Okay, so we have that. So the lingering month feel the physical strain. So wait a sec. You give us quite a bit of information. She's giving birth, sweat beads, hardship, frail, hope, resource, constantly worry. The lingering reflection of months filled with physical strain and quiet determination set the stage for this critical night. As Vernon stand by her side. So basically, that's what we ask. What's going on around? She's giving birth, and it's going to tell us also about how hard was her birth or the pregnancy. Next, the reach its peak when the room filled the raw sound of a newborn cry, Elvis Presley. So this one is exactly the same thing that we had before, but they just put everything at present tense. Measured breath, remain silence. It's pretty much
actually,
that present tense, right?
it actually was in present tense before. I really like it. Yeah, it kept the present tense.
Perfect. So now he's having everything at present tense. Let's see what that's going to look like. Now he got all the fixing. We have to do it again. We're going to go generate, or we can go and do 3 scenes instead of just 2. We're going to keep it as the way he put it and see how many words it's going to give us. So this is all the way you can go and play with your memoir or any book you're writing. This is all the same step, no matter what you're doing inside Sudowrite when you write with the scene here. All right, so now he says he's happy. We have between 3,000 to 5,000 words. Looks good. The setting and emotional contrast come through nicely. So the AI says, I'm happy with this, with the instruction you give me and what is in the genre box. We haven't said anything about dialogue. So we're going to see what it's going to tell us as you write, because we haven't tell anything about dialogue. So at some point, we're going to probably tell we want dialogue also inside of it. So let's go with the basic and see what it's going to do. We're going to generate our first prose, our first scene. So it's thinking, and you see how it's going to do that. It's thinking, and after that, it's going to go and count his words. During that time, do we have any question?
I just have a clarifying. So I kind of got a little bit lost. Is are you are you doing 2 separate projects, or did you put those 2 outlines together in one? I can't remember what happened there.
Not yet. I don't
Okay.
do the 2 outline together, but I did love the second outline that we use, the mirror versus the one I brought in.
Yeah.
And that's the one we're using right now, because we have the outline number 1 that came with the download that we did, the 7,000 words. That's the original outline. Then I said I want the other outline for a memoir. So this is the second outline. And this is the second outline I'm using right now.
Right. Okay. So, but it's when you go back out to projects, you have 2 different projects. This is
Mhm.
just one of the projects, right? The second one was 7,000, over 7,000 words. Is that
This is
correct?
a 7,000 word
Yeah.
project. The other one was 5,000.
All right.
So this is the one who has a lot more information, plus all those letters and information from the other countries.
Gotcha.
So we have dialogue. The midwife should be here soon, Vernon says, glancing towards the window, as if it might conjure her through sheer will. Mrs. Johnson from down the street went to fetch her. So Vernon, she called her voice. I want to see the start of it. Scene 1. Red clay road cut through Tupelo like open wound. Connection weathered house that lean against the Mississippi eat like tired old men. The year 1935, and the depression has settled over the town with the weight of the wet wool, clinging to every porch step and half-empty store. And one small house, not different from a dozen other on the street, Gladys Presley lies on a bed that protests beneath her swollen body, her hand clutching in at the thin cotton sheet as another pain crash, a wash through her, Tupelo exists in a quiet corner of Mississippi that the New Deal hasn't quite reached. So we have a pretty good start. So Vernon, she called, her voice thin as tissue paper. Vernon, it's coming stronger now. The room is too warm despite the January chill that seeped through the crack in the walls. The air smell of sweat and fear, and the particular mustiness of a house that never quite dry enough. A single window, its glass cloudy with age, stand partially open, letting in the sound of distant voices and occasional passing car. We have a pretty interesting looking start of that. Let me refresh my window so we can see the numbers of words that we just generate. So that first chapter is 3,903 words. So let's go and give you this so you can read it. I will put it in the chat. There we go. And on that, it's already 20 minutes past the hour. And I don't want to go too far because half the people already left because they go to work. I don't want them to come back tomorrow and be all messed up and don't know what's going on because we went too far. But I will update the information, so don't forget to refresh the information, the note I gave you. I will get this video upload also as soon as I can, and you should have access to it also, plus this chapter 1 that I will love you guys to go and read. Go read the 2 outline and tell me tomorrow what you like about the 2 outlines, so we can maybe kick bash the outline together and put it into a new document, or basically just delete one of the outline and get that going with a new story for Elvis Presley. And then we're also going to use all the laser tool to fix things, check different outline, and use different model to write the story about Elvis Presley. Sounds good?
Sounds great. Thank you so much. It's
Well,
very helpful and so thought-provoking. Thank you.
You're absolutely welcome. I'm very, very happy that you have learned something, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow to find you all with me tomorrow and talk about that. So it's very exciting. I want to go and read it. So I see you all tomorrow, and on this I will stop the recording.
See you tomorrow.
See
Thank
you
you.
tomorrow. You're welcome.
Oh, hear the whispers of the wind so free through the leaves of the ancient tree, guiding hearts with a gentle plea. To the brave and bold, come follow me. With a sigh and a breeze, the wind does sing. Secrets of courage it will bring. Through the forests and the night, it leads the heroes with its light. Over hills and valleys wide, the wind will be your faithful guide. Through shadows deep where fears reside, with the wind, let your spirit glide. With a sigh and a breeze, the wind does sing. Secrets of courage it will bring. Through the forests and the night, it leads the heroes with its light. Listen close, oh valiant heart. The wind's song is where you start. In its melody you'll find your part. A path through darkness, a hero's chart. To the cave of shadows you must go, where the winds of courage always blow. With every step let your valor grow. Follow the song and light will show. With a sigh and a breeze, the wind does sing. Secrets of courage it will bring. Through the forests and the night, it leads the heroes with its light. So heed the wind's enchanting song. With its guidance you'll be strong. For in its tune you'll find where you belong.